On this week's World of Saltwater Fishing, we're off North Key Largo in the fabulous Florida Keys. There you go.
Nice. Nice Florida Keys tail there. Oh, this is a nicer one here.
I could hear by the resistance as soon as you came tight to that fish.
I think the tails are starting to get a little nicer now.
Yes, they are. We'll be targeting yellowtails and muttons on the reefs. Looking mutton to me.
All right, there it is.
Sometimes on the drift, it works better than on the anchor, doesn't it? It's one educational, exciting episode you do not want to miss.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing, celebrating 21 years of fishing television excellence. Big fish don't stand a chance.
Key Largo in the fabulous Florida Keys. I have a lot of history here. I remember as a young kid spending a lot of time here with my dad. The grouper and snapper fishing here can be sensational, and the offshore fishing for dolphin is in a class all unto itself at times. But if Key Largo had to be really noted for one particular species of fish, I would have to say Key Largo is known for mutton snapper. And bottom fishing is the reason I had the Mark 6 docked at the Pilot House Marina in Key Largo to go after bottom fish the likes of yellowtail and muttons with a local legend by the name of Kevin Cabrera, also known as Mutton Man Jr.
So the Keys is like my favorite place to fish. I mean, I grew up, every year we would go on vacation, go to the Keys. That's how we, started learning the area and all that. What we do is a person calls us to go fishing. We go on, hop on their boat. They tell us, where is, the best place for bottom fishing and all that. And, my top answer every time is Key Largo, North Key Largo. That's like my area, I love that place. We kill it sometimes. Sometimes, it's tougher than others, but hey, that's fishing,
There's a lot to this game. There's scaling down hook sizes and leaders, anchoring versus drifting. Very, very complex. As we left the Pilot House Marina, Kevin says, I think our first attempt should be on the yellowtails.
We're gonna start off with some yellowtail, hopefully get a limit of that, and then try for the bottom. So we start off in about 50 to 60 feet of water. Perfect scenario would be good north current, about a knot. Get that chum going really well, see what's up, see how the fish react, see if those tails will come up.
All right, let's see if we can start off day right with a yellowtail.
It might be a little far back there.
Yep, we'll go that far, we'll see.
But they'll get closer and closer as the day gets on.
Here we go.
What you got there, George?
Could be a small tail, and that it is. Yellowtail first, here you go.
All right, so we get there, we drop the hook and start chumming. Shortly after, we got the yellowtail ball behind the boat and we start fishing. And about 25 to 30 yards away from the boat was where the action was happening.
All right.
Let's see. A little bit bigger. Yeah, that's a keeper.
It's starting to grow.
All right, I wanted to show you my, my hook remover.
Okay.
I bet you've never seen anything like this. You see this?
Piece of wood.
Not just any piece of wood.
A dole or whatever.
It's got to be the Mutton Man stick. If not, it won't work.
All right,
if it's just a piece of wood, it won't work.
Does it paint the fish up red too?
Yeah, right. So we stick it in here. You stretch the line and grab the stick. You twist.
That's pretty cool.
Comes out every time.
Kevin is a very precise angler. One of the most difficult parts is making sure that you anchor to where your boat lays back to chum directly into that area and pull those fish out into your boat.
They really want that chum moving.
I got a little trick I'm gonna try here. What I might do is go with a very tiny hook and see if that's gonna make our difference here.
Yep.
And these fish, we all like to say, the yellowtail snapper here are college educated. They've seen leaders, they've seen hooks and this and that. You have to fool these fish. Here we go.
There it is.
There you go.
Nice. Fighting a little more.
Yeah, he is. And up comes.
There it is.
A tail.
It's a nice Florida Keys tail there.
That measurement that a little short, I think, isn't it?
No, that makes it.
He makes it?
He's about 13, I bet.
All right.
Yep, he's got an inch to spare. He's going home for the fry.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly being brought to you by Penn, let the battle begin. Mako, you'll find them where the fish are. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, your adventure starts here. Mercury Marine, go boldly. We'll be right back.
Kevin Cabrera and I are working over a school of yellowtail snapper off the Florida Keys. We're fishing at a Pilot House Marina and Restaurant on the ocean side in North Key Largo.
So we're there catching one yellowtail after another. Things are looking great.
We had tiny J hooks, but I was going primarily with the inline circle hook.
I was using actually a weighted jig head for the yellowtails, and it seemed to be working just as fine. Come on, pick it back up. There it is. Oh, this is a nicer one here.
I could hear by the resistance right there as soon as you came tight to that fish. And that is a gorgeous tail.
That's a nice one there.
Good one.
It's a good Key Largo tail.
Here I got a question for you. Now, when we have a moderate current like this, and we're chumming, we're sending that burst of chum down with the oats and all. When you free line a bait, is it you keep pace with the chum, and then I know sometimes when you put an excess amount of slack, I don't know if that's good, or sometimes you slightly tether it a little bit just to bring it back to what a chum is. What are some of the subtleties of free lining?
Best way to do it is to keep up with the chum. Fast moving current like this, it's a little more difficult.
Yep.
The fish are more prone to hit, but it's a little bit more difficult to see, to tell when you're actually getting picked up. The key to that is just keep your pace and know just the pace of the current. You know, my ideal situation is a little bit slower than this, so you can really keep up, and then you can notice the takeoff like really well.
Let's see if the experiment works. I went down to a number 1 hook, very tiny.
Yep.
Try to see if those 1/0, 2/0 circle hooks would work. There goes a.
I think the tails are starting to get a little nicer now.
Yes, they are. I'm still might switch over again to that. You're doing well with that.
Yeah.
You see color make a difference with the type of jig heads?
Honestly, I like to use the white ones. Just to mask it a little bit better with the piece of bait you got.
Yep.
But pink ones seem to be working just as good. So we're there catching one yellowtail after another and put a bottom rod out. We used a long leader method. It was 40-pound fluorocarbon. We started using that, and before you know it, we look over and the bot is doubled over. All right, George, I need your help here.
Okay.
Weight's here.
Okay, give me the weight. I'll lead them in.
Just grab the rod.
I got the rod. Go.
Oh, it's a mangrove.
Big mangrove.
There it is.
Check that out.
That's what we wanted.
That's what I think's down there messing around with us.
Nice.
30-foot leader on a mutton rig. Came in there and he ate it, huh?
Got her.
Good for you. I'm gonna drop that bonita back. Still staying in the game.
Oh yeah. Nice mangrove. It's a good sign.
It is. I think it's time to put a live pinfish for you too, right?
Yep, that was it.
I changed
really
out the
close
bonita.
down to the bottom, and I put a 40-pound leader on there.
With the yellowtails complete and more than enough fish to take home for dinner, Kevin said, let's go after the muttons now. So we picked up the anchor and ran to a couple deep spots that he had. You know, by now the wind was starting to freshen up a little bit, but there was still a beautiful Florida Keys day, again in July, a little bit on the warm side, but hey, nobody on my boat was complaining. Coming up.
All right, go ahead and grab my leader there.
Okay, here's your.
I'll bring your weight over here. Okay, cool. Give me some good news there,
got a
George.
mutton. Here you go. Might be a releaser, but you got himself a mutton.
All right. That little guy kicked.
About the time you were getting hit, I was getting the taps as well.
Yeah.
And I got to double check mine. Let me give you this.
Cool, man.
And the sequelizer right behind, and let that one go back.
What a beautiful fish, man.
They are.
He wrecked it. I thought he was a keeper, man. He was fighting.
I thought you had one there for a
He
second
was
or two.
fighting, man.
Keeper. Oh, well, we're bending rods. That's
Hey,
what counts.
we'll give him back for good luck and good karma, right?
If you're not fishing, what's there to do in Key Largo? There's plenty of options. You know, John Pennekamp State Park, you cannot go to Key Largo and not at least spend an afternoon or a full day there. You have glass bottom boats will take you out, be able to see the patch reefs. You have snorkeling expeditions. I've done that a time or two with my daughters as they were growing up. It's a really nice way to sort of immerse yourself in the environment of the Florida Keys and see nature through a mask. You want to do eco tours? John Pennekamp, kayak rentals. You go around the maze of mangrove islands. And that's one cool thing about Key Largo that I really like, is the maze of mangrove estuaries that you have here. And let's not forget, the backcountry of Key Largo, some exceptional fishing out here, exceptional. Northern Key Largo has some of the largest snook that you're going to see in the Florida Keys chain. So from an eco-tour standpoint, it has a lot to offer. From a shallow water angling standpoint, it has a ton to offer. Key Largo is just a fishy area.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly being brought to you by Simrad, the new Simrad NSS Evo 3S chart plotter. The best just got better. Rapala Coastal, another great day. Suffolk's, always use the best line. Starbright Boat Care Products, blending technology and performance since 1973. We'll be right back.
Kevin Cabrera and I are now out in deeper water looking for mutton snappers off North Key Largo. We're basing that at a Pilot House Marina and Restaurant in the Florida Keys.
So you're faced with a situation when you first get to a spot, and this is where a lot of anglers maybe get confused. Do we anchor or do we drift?
So we'd be on the hook if there's a good north current. Good current stimulates those fish to eat. It gets everything down there up and moving around, all the baits scattering around, so those muttons are really on the hunt. I personally, if the current is a little slow, then the baits are not presented the same if you're on the hook, so I like to drift on a slow current. You really get to cover a lot of ground. It's a good way to cover a good bunch of spots, and you get that presentation that they're looking for when you're pulling that bait around all those rocks down there and all the sand patch.
Oh, a little baby mutton snapper.
Mutton release.
Nice. All right, we're on the targeted species.
No doubt about that, for sure.
Awesome, man. I got a venting tool there if we need.
And I've got a release device too, sequelizer sitting there as well. Fought up a fish out of, I think we're around 140, 145 feet of water, and of course, just shy of that legal mark. So this one had to go down. What happens a lot when you fight a fish up from the bottom in depths of 140 feet plus, they get barotrauma. That is, their swim bladders inflate. It's never going to make it back down to the bottom unless it's purged somehow. A new law went into effect is you have to have a release device for your bottom fish. We had the sequelizer, which the sequelizer is a tool that you hook onto a fish. There's 3 pressure settings, 50, 100 feet, and 150 feet. And what it does, when you hook it up to an output with a weight, you clamp the unit on the fish's jaw and you start lowering it down through the water column. It recompresses to where that fish starts kicking around again, and once it's released, the odds of that fish surviving are way better than it is if you were to try to purge them with a needle or simply let them go.
Yeah, you can swing over this way and I'll get that weight off or whatever. There you go. All right, let's go. We got it. We got the fish. I got him. There you have it.
There it is. Old mutton snapper.
And the reason you fish long leaders with your muttons is sometimes the muttons could be the most aggressive fish you'll ever run across. You put a live ballyhoo, live pinfish, live pilchard down there, and it'll come in and it'll just consume that in one shot.
The mutton just missed him. Look at that, right before the hook. Look at the crush.
However, they could be the most finicky fish you ever want to mess around with.
Yep, nope, he just dropped it. Come on, buddy, just eat it already, come on.
And by finicky, I'm talking about the move in, nudge a bait, swim off, come back around, push it again, maybe take a chomp at it, back off. The longer leaders makes that bait just seem free floating. In other words, if a mutton pecks a bait and tugs at it, it's not going to feel the weight, which could be 30 to 40 feet away from it.
All right, oh, here's a fat one. Think it's gonna measure up?
Yep, I think so. I think we got some dinner here with this one. Maybe, he might be right on.
Well, let's take a measurement right here. We're gonna
It's gotta be 18.
tail the tape.
Come on, come on. Yes, sir, he makes it.
You
Bye.
made it? Fantastic, very good. All right, well, here's the rest of your long leader. Mine's still in place, so I gotta get
Awesome.
out there.
Go ahead,
Make
George.
sure everything's good with this.
Let's get her done. We got there, George.
I hope it's a mutton. Looking mutton to me.
All right, bring the rod tip on me. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, there it is.
That one a live pilchard.
Yep.
And I was using a ballyhoo plug with long leader on the drift, and it seemed to work. Hooked up to that first mutton. Then we started getting more hits, and it was All it was presenting that bait different on the drift, and it seemed to work.
Sometimes on the drift, it works better than on the anchor, doesn't it?
Yep. You got to switch it up when times are tough. Let's see what's going on here. Let's measure him out. See if we got to give him back or if he's coming home for the grill.
And if we do, we got the sequelizer.
Yep.
We'll send him on that. Here comes the big measurement, huh?
Let's see. And nope, this one's gonna have to go back down.
George's Tackle Locker. Brought to you by King Sailfish, the pioneer of catch and release mounts. Visit kingsailfish.com.
Keeping terminal tackle items handy is a big convenience, especially during the heat of battle. Tackle webs are unique mesh-based suspending storage systems which help keep your most important items for the day within easy reach. For example, their hook and loop and bungee collections conveniently affixed to a boat's leaning post, T-top, or fighting chair. They're easily removable after a trip. For more permanent applications, there's a series of tackle webs which affix to consoles, bulkheads, the undersides of storage hatches, and inside console doors. For example, the bottom line here is that tackle trays, spool leader material, pliers, dehookers, gloves, and other items remain ready to go and within easy reach of all anglers on board. Tackle webs come in numerous sizes and configurations. They're available in black and now in tackle webs white.
Mercury Performance Stats, Key Largo, Florida Keys, snapper fishing, seas calm, speed 45 miles per hour, total miles 75, total fuel burned 72 gallons. George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly being brought to you by the Florida Keys and Key West. Visit flakeys.com. ACR, the leader in marine safety electronics. Papa's Pilar Artesian Crafted Rum. Order yours today at papaspilar.com. Float On, the original aluminum immersible boat trailer. King Sailfish, the pioneer of catch and release mounts. Visit kingsailfish.com.
In Key Largo, Ocean Point Suites. It is a beautiful complex from swimming pool, tennis courts. They have a small marina here. If you have a boat that's 23 feet and less, they have their own launching ramp, direct access to the ocean, very nice accommodations ranging from 2-bedroom, 2-bath units to single suites. It's a very unique piece of property in North Key Largo, and I keep coming back to what I like to call angler friendly. And by that I mean, you drive in Ocean Point Suites and the first thing you start seeing is a lot of the boats. Where people winter here, they keep their boats neatly parked in rows. If your travels find you coming to North Key Largo, Ocean Point Suites, it's a beautiful complex, again angler friendly, and you'll have the time of your life, very convenient place to work out of.
Here, grab that. What is it?
Cobia.
It's an undersized Kobe.
Yep, that's what I told you in that last hit. It was weird. They were almost hitting and swimming up with it. That's what that school was we marked.
Undersized cobia.
There you have it.
Oh,
And he's
there
off.
goes the hook.
I'm not going to touch that hook now.
He's just slippery. All right, there he goes. There he is. Undersized cobia. Yep, on the bottom rod.
Weird hit. What
Yeah,
happened to mine?
he hit it and I felt like it was dragging me around and then he came up. It was weird, but yep, that's exactly what it was.
Back to the ocean.
Good eye, man.
Unfortunately, undersized cobia. Yep, we still got a cobia in the boat, added to our limit, our bragging rights and trying to make these fish eat. And just goes to show you that some days, when things go right, everything just goes right. But when the conditions really get tough is where anglers like Kevin really shine.
Finally, we ended the day. We caught some nice muttons, some nice yellowtails. After a good day of fishing like that, you want to go back to the dock safely, and once it's safe to do so, you pop open that Papa's Pilar and some Coke, and you got yourself a great day.
The Pilot House Marina is a old school marina nestled away in northern Key Largo. It's where we kept the Mark VI. When I was talking to Kevin, he said a lot of our spots that we're going to fish are going to be right out of that North Key Largo area. You're in a very strategic area, which gives you a lot of opportunity to fish. So from a striking standpoint to some really good fishing opportunities, and you have your own boat, Pilot House Marina, check them out. It was a very difficult day catching fish. We still brought home enough fish to satisfy a lot of the crew members on our team, and we kept the rods bending enough to where we had a great day in the water. And I've got to tell you, I was really honored to fish with Kevin. It was a great time with the Mutton Man Jr., as we like to call him.
If you'd like to keep up with our fishing adventures, please follow me on Instagram. I'm at George Poveromo. On Facebook, I'm at facebook.com/George.Poveromo. And you can view our episodes at any time on our YouTube channel, George Poveromo TV. We'll see you out on the water.